Welcome to the Upsert connector for Loqate. In order to have a successful business, you need to have accurate information in your CRM for the customers you work with every day. You can imagine the amount of time and effort it would take to manually validate this information. But with Upsert's connector for Loqate, all of the data can be validated instantly and in the background while your users take care of business. Let's take a look at some of the administrative configurations and features to get started. Under the configuration settings, you choose which Loqate services you want to use, the modules you want to enable, and which sugar fields correspond to each service. Upsert's connector for Loqate supports the following services. Address Capture provides suggested addresses based on the information you are typing in real time. Address Verify looks at historical addresses to see if they are valid and updates them if needed. Geocode plots out the latitude and longitude coordinates of the address. Email Address Validation assesses whether the email address is real. And Phone Number Validation evaluates whether the phone number is legitimate. One thing to keep in mind is that Loqate services are run with credits. So each time an action is performed that calls to Loqate for validation, credits are used. Upsert aims to help safeguard this so credits are used only when needed. For example, if an email address has been validated already, Upsert remembers this and doesn't request it again. Another way Upsert helps to mitigate the use of credits is to build filter queries. These queries help ensure the scheduler, which processes records automatically, is only looking for records that are the most important or relevant and not sending every single record in a module to the Loqate services for validation. Let's look at the leads query as an example. Here, we have created a query that will include active lead records that have data in at least one of the fields we have enabled for validation. This ensures we are only checking the records that matter to help reduce credit use. Two other notable admin features are the changelog, where you can see the history of each record update made by Loqate, and the address field map, where you can set which fields in each sugar module map to each Loqate address field. This includes custom sugar fields as well. This is especially useful when it is common to have multiple address types, such as billing and shipping, and each address is comprised of many fields, such as street, city, state, etc. Now, let's take a look at what your users see when looking at an account record. We can see the fields we have enabled, 2 phone number fields, email address, billing address, and shipping address. For each field with data, a small circle indicates the status of the validation. For example, a green circle with a check mark next to the office phone means that Loqate has identified this phone number as valid. The status of each field is also reportable, so that you can consistently check for records that have invalid data and have them addressed by your team as needed. The two primary ways your users will interact with the connector for Loqate is when entering data in a field and allowing Loqate to validate the data, or using the type-ahead address capture. Additionally, if you have existing data in your records that has not yet been validated, the scheduler is able to pick these up and validate automatically. Or users can simply click the empty circle to validate it from the record view. Let's take a look at the first 2 scenarios to see them in action. First, I add a number to the alternate phone field and click outside the field. Loqate automatically validates the number for me. I perform the same action with an email address. Next, I can see the billing address has already been validated, but it has a B letter grade. This means that some information is incorrect. Clicking on the status revalidates the address and pulls the correct address spelling as well as the full zip code, country, and geocode coordinates. Confirming the change updates the record. Finally, I need to add the shipping address. As I type, Loqate shows suggested addresses that I can select from. When I choose the one I want, it automatically fills in the rest of the fields. Additionally, because it is a known and valid address, it also includes the geocode coordinates. Within the Upsert connector for Loqate Dashlet, all verified addresses are mapped individually. When the address is successfully geocoded by Loqate, the precise coordinates are used to map the location instead of just the street address. The Dashlet also contains tabs for phone numbers and email addresses, where you can see information and the verification status for every phone number and email address entered on the account. Having all this information in one place makes it even easier for your users to plan their next touchpoint, whether that is in person or virtual. Want to find out how Upsert's connector for Loqate can improve your data quality? Contact us today to learn more and get started with a 30-day trial.